Have you ever really thought about missiles? They are weapons of war engineered to strike targets with pinpoint accuracy without requiring human soldiers to enter the direct line of fire. They offer the immense tactical advantage of drastically reducing friendly casualties while neutralizing targets from vast distances. Missiles come in a vast array of types, with their external designs varying significantly from nation to nation. But if you think about it carefully, there is something rather paradoxical about them. They are inherently single-use weapons that detonate and vanish upon impact, yet their exteriors are crafted with a surprising level of detail. Why invest the time, money, and effort into painting and designing a weapon destined for its own destruction? Modern militaries utilize a staggering variety of weapons. There are live munitions for actual combat and inert ones for training. Inside, they might be packed with high explosives or perhaps smoke-generating compounds. Furthermore, to propel them across vast distances to their targets, they often contain volatile rocket propellants. Imagine if simply because they're single-use items, all munitions were manufactured in the exact same shape and color without any distinct markings. It would be nearly impossible to identify a weapon's exact nature or intended purpose at a single glance. This ambiguity could lead to catastrophic consequences. Mishandling during transport could trigger devastating accidents, and accidentally loading live munitions during a training exercise could result in horrific tragedies. Therefore, to ensure absolute clarity, strict military protocols dictate that munitions must be color-coded according to their specific functions. The universal system generally works like this. A yellow band indicates a high explosive warhead. A red band signifies an incendiary weapon designed to ignite intense fires. Light green denotes a smoke-generating round, while a brown band warns of the presence of rocket propellant. Additionally, a black band identifies armor-piercing rounds capable of penetrating thick tank plating, whereas a blue band serves as a reassuring sign that it is a completely safe, inert training missile with all explosive materials removed. Let's examine some real-world examples. The image on screen shows the Sidewinder, the U.S. military's premier short-range air-to-air missile. You can clearly see a yellow band indicating high explosives alongside a brown band signifying the rocket motor. In contrast, this next image of the Sidewinder displays a prominent blue band. This single marking instantly communicates that it is an inert training variant posing zero risk of detonation. Next, we have the Hellfire, a renowned U.S. anti-tank missile. This missile has an overall black coloring with a yellow high explosive warning band. This clearly indicates its primary function, to penetrate heavily armored enemy tanks. Even though these weapons are fundamentally single-use consumables, they are deliberately painted with these exact markings. It is a calculated effort to intuitively distinguish their payloads, ensuring safety and preventing fatal mishaps on the field. Safety, however, is not the only reason missiles are painted. There are also strictly technical requirements, as well as calculated motives for public display. Consider the V-2 rocket developed by Germany during the Second World War. To easily track the rocket's trajectory and any mid-air rotation from the ground during test launches, engineers applied a highly visible black and white checkerboard pattern. In the case of the American Patriot air defense system, the missiles are painted in bright white. This functional design reflects intense sunlight, preventing delicate internal electronics from overheating. Beyond pure utility, there are instances where missiles are elaborately decorated for optical signaling to the public or foreign adversaries. The American defense giant Raytheon, now operating as RTX, once painted its Tomahawk cruise missiles with striking colors and oversized corporate logos, essentially turning them into high-speed promotional billboards. Similarly, North Korea's Hwasong-17 intercontinental ballistic missile, or ICBM, features a massive national emblem emblazoned across its giant fuselage. This is a deliberate design choice meant to project military might and intimidate neighboring nations. In short, the striking missile designs we see in the media are not accidental. They are highly calculated final products, intended either to ensure the safety of the troops handling them or to project an overwhelming sense of power to both the public and enemy states. However, live munitions destined for the actual battlefield are rarely decorated with such excessive or conspicuous designs. As mentioned earlier, they typically feature only thin color bands for essential identification. More often than not, they are coated entirely in dull, low-visibility grays to evade the enemy's eye. This plain canvas led to a unique tradition. On the grueling battlefields of the past, to relieve extreme psychological stress and boost morale, soldiers would often scrawl dark humor, graffiti, or personal messages directly onto the drab surfaces of these missiles. Perhaps those crude scribbles were a profound expression of vitality, even in the heart of the most brutal battlefields. Standing before cold slabs of metal engineered for destruction, it was humanity's desperate attempt to hold on to life until the very end. We engineer lethal weapons designed to take the lives of others, yet simultaneously we painstakingly paint safety symbols on them to protect our own. Within the meticulous and flawless designs painted on these missiles, perhaps we find the most bitter paradox of human nature perfectly captured. We hope for a day when these elaborately designed lethal weapons no longer tear through anyone's sky, but remain strictly as archives of a bygone history. Deep knowledge delivered in just 5 minutes. That's all for today's episode of Flat Archive. Thank you for watching.